Hi, I'm Marty Nimco. This essay is called A World Without Israel. Subtitle, An Unlikely but Plausible Scenario. Whether or not Israel launches a ground attack on Hamas in Gaza, the world has gotten an excuse to become even more aggressive against the world's only Jewish state. The left has long shrugged at the many Muslim-only states while screaming that Israel is the worst, even though Israel has 20% Arab citizens, with all rights of citizenship including serving in the government. In a breathtaking double standard, the hegemonic left deems Israel, of the world's 195 countries, the number one target for their venom, more so than countries that make women wear hijabs, or subjects their girls to clitorectomies. The left trumpets lies such as that Israel occupies Gaza for 17 years. Gaza has been its own territory and runs it, having elected its own leadership, Hamas, which is sworn by charter to destroy Israel and its people, quote, from the river to the sea. It's the full width. Israel wouldn't need checkpoints if it weren't for terrorists trying to sneak into Israel to bomb everything from school buses to bar mitzvahs. Hamas, the leadership, duly elected by the Palestinian people, including, of course, the people of Gaza, deliberately embeds its terrorists in its hospitals and mosques so it can use the CNN strategy. Israel, which really is humanitarian at its core, warns those Hamas voting civilians to evacuate. But Hamas wants them to stay and die, so Hamas can take pictures to send to CNN, which the latter dutifully shows to the world. Yet the American left demands that Israel supply electricity to the Gazans, the people who elected the Destroy Israel Hamas, even after Hamas, without provocation, attacked the Israeli people, the civilians, deliberately targeting for murder, for rape, and for beheading Israel's most innocent, celebrants at a peace music festival, and at a socialist kibbutzim, including infants and the elderly. Which Israelis does Hamas save? People they take as hostages so they can get their terrorists back. Hamas knows from previous experience that Israel, which tries to do everything it can to save its citizenry, would trade even 1,000 Palestinian terrorists for one Israeli, a lower-level soldier, Galit Shalit, which it did. Would we ask the U.S. to supply electricity to a neighboring territory that elected leaders sworn to destroy the U.S.? Would we not build checkpoints to avoid terrorists coming to rape, kill, and behead? Yet the left urges a violent intifada against Israel, plus worldwide boycotts and other punishments for the people of that tiny sliver of desert that the United Nations deemed a small, safe haven for Jews after the 6 million killed Holocaust. How misguided, if not intentional, that the UN chose to put Israel in a place that isn't just desert, but that's surrounded by its millennial-long mortal enemies. The scenario I fear is this. Using the Israeli response to the Hamas attack as an excuse, Hamas, aided by Iran and its other allies, will obliterate Israel, using a nuclear weapon if needed. It is quite possible that despite Iran stating that it is using the U.S.'s billions of dollars, plus Russian, North Korean, and Chinese money and expertise to build nuclear power plants for peaceful uses only, it may well have built a nuclear bomb. Secretly. And then the world will unite, especially led by the left, to rebuild Israel as Palestine, a Muslim-only state. The small percentage of Israeli Jews who manage to escape will endure yet another of the millennia-long diasporas. In most locales where Jews settle, they will represent just a tiny percentage of the population, and if history is any guide, they will suffer yet more anti-Semitism and perhaps obliteration. An exception will be the United States. The U.S. will create a territory like an Indian reservation for the Israelis who wish to migrate to the U.S. That new Israel would be a sliver of the massive forest land north of New York City, which is home to the world's largest number of Jews, 3 times as many as in Jerusalem. The residents of New Israel will be safe, but the Jewish population will nonetheless continue to shrink because Jews have few children, and most of those do not raise their kids to be Jewish. Less discussed, many Jews feel reluctant to be or show they're Jewish for fear of anti-Semitism, which is fueled by society's mind molders. The left-driven public schools, especially with the usually anti-Semitic ethnic studies curriculum, American professoriate rife with instructors who brainwash naive young students, leftist politicians like the Squad, including Rashida Tlaib, who, as Hamas was beheading babies, hung a huge Palestinian flag right outside her White House office. And then there's the media, which disproportionately portrays Jews as sleazily rich and or atavistic men in curls and long black suits. Those are the Hasidim, the tiniest percentage of American Jews. Most Jews are, well, like you and me. I am sad at the prospect of such a scenario, not as a Jew, but as someone who appreciates the Jews' outsized contributions to humankind, medical, entertainment, and yes, ironically, social justice. I hope that the Jewish people will survive against the odds, defying thousands of years of anti-Semitism, from the destruction of the temple in ancient Rome, through the Inquisition wherein countless Jews were burned at the stake for refusing to convert to Catholicism, through the Eastern European pogroms where Jewish homes were invaded and the Jews beaten or killed, through the Holocaust, through today's anti-Israel double standard and the aforementioned U.S. anti-Semitic mind molders. Before you become pro-Palestinian based on too little information, consider the above. All are facts. In any event, that essay is called A World Without Israel, subtitle An Unlikely but Plausible Scenario. As usual, I welcome your thumbs up and accept your thumbs down. I always look forward to your comments and especially like it if you hit the share button below. Share on your social media so that my efforts can have broader impact. And I am flattered if you choose to subscribe to my channel. And I certainly would welcome you taking a look at any of my 28 books, including my most recent one called A Dose of Reality. All my books are available on Amazon. Just go to Amazon, search on my name, Marty Nemko, N-E-M-K-O. You'll find more than you can stomach. In any event, I do thank you for watching. I am Marty Nemko.